Sixth grade, welcome to another lesson in math. We're cruising along. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully you got the quiz done and knocking those things out of the park. We have the same power up that we had on Monday as we continue to work our definitions. 1 is a segment, 2 is a ray, 3 is a line, 4 acute angle, 5 right angle, 6 obtuse angle, 7 triangle, 8 quadrilateral, 9 pentagon, 10 hexagon, 11 octagon, 12 regular polygon. Your mental math would read like this. I got $9.22. I multiplied, slides that decimal right twice, $175. Subtracted $3.71. Multiplied 424. Added, simplified, and reduced 1 1/4. Divide by my denominator. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Multiply by my numerator gives me 10. If W equals 10, what does W equal? 10 times 10. Letter next to the number means multiply. 10 times 10 is 100. Think of an easier equivalent division problem besides 56 divided by 14, then find the quotient. Maybe you can cut them both in half and say 28 divided by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4. So what they're doing, maybe you divided them both by 4. I don't know what would have been easier for you. Maybe it's just easy to do 14 divided into 56. Problem solving. There are 2 routes that Imani can take to school. There are 3 routes Samantha can take to school. If Imani is going from her house to school and then to Samantha's house, how many different routes can Imani take? Draw a diagram that illustrates the problem. Guys, so we got Imani, she's heading to school. She can go to school route 1 or she can go to school route 2. After school, Imani's heading to Samantha's house, and there's 3 different ways she can get there. So she can go to Samantha's house 1, 2, 3. So she could have went to school 1 and then this one, 1 and then 2 and then 1 and 3, or she'd go 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3. So in the end we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 ways that she could have gone from her house to school to Samantha's house. Now that's the diagram that they asked you to do. Obviously it's easier, guys, to say how many choices did she have? 2 to school. How many did she have to Samantha's? 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and you can forget the diagram. Just make it easier in the future when they give you those types of problems, to keep that in mind. Okay, guys, yesterday we were working with least common multiple. Remember, you're multiplying number times 1, times 2, times 3, until we find a number in the list, or we worked at using prime factorization to do it, finding the biggest number of each factor in there and multiplying it together. Do not confuse that with greatest common factor. Today we're moving on. 2 problems, both of them have the same theme. They're 2-step problems, guys. So one is 2-step word problems, and then the other one is the starting of average, and average is a 2-step problem as well. So we get started on the 2-step word problems. It says, thus far we've considered these 6 1-step word problems. We can combine, which is adding, separating is subtracting, comparing is subtracting, elapsed time is subtracting, equal groups was multiplication, and parts of a whole was mainly your division one. Word problems can often require more than 1 step to solve. In this lesson, we'll continue practicing problems that require multiple steps. These problems involve 2 or more of the themes mentioned above. So the number of steps, just go with those themes, guys. So what they're doing is saying, hey, we took a lesson on each one of these. Now we're going to say a lot of word problems are multiple steps. Let's put it all together. They'll show you one example. Julie went to the store with 20 bucks. She bought 8 cans of dog food at 67 cents per can. How much does she have left? So step 1, I got to figure out how much she spent by taking the 67 cents times the 8 cans she bought. So that's a 56, carry the 5. That's a 48 plus 5 is 53. That's money, so she spent $5.36. She handed the cashier a 20. We want to know how much she gets back. So step 2, take my multiplication and do it into subtraction. Carry across, I got 10 minus 6 is 4, 9 minus 3 is 6, decimal straight down, 9 minus 5 is 4, 1 minus nothing is 1. She gets $14.64 back in change. So the 2 steps, multiplication and then subtraction. Let's learn about average. Calculating the average is often a 2-step process. For example, consider these 5 stacks of coin. Boom. There are 15 coins in all. If we made all the stacks the same size, there would be 3 coins in each stack. Okay? If there were 20 coins in all and we made them all the same, how many coins would be in each stack? 20 divided by 5 is 4. We say average number of coins in each stack is 3. Now look at the following problem. There are 4 squads in the physical education class. Squad A 7, B 9, C 6, D 10. What would the average number be per squad? The average number of players per squad is the number of players that would be in each squad if all the squads had the same number of players. To find the average of a group, we combine the numbers by finding their sums. So step 1, add them all together, you get 32. Then we form equal groups by dividing the sum of the numbers by the number of numbers. There are 4 squads, so we divide by 4. Okay? And you get the answer of 8. So finding the average took 2 steps. First, we added the numbers to find the total, then we divided the total to make equal groups. Guys, if you're in your yellow folder here, it says what's average. Now I put in parentheses the word mean. Mean is the word we use for average in math class, because why not, right? I mean, you think about being a mean kid, that's not being average, but whatever. Okay, so you got mean, don't confuse that. They'll ask you to find the mean. Okay, add the numbers together and then divide by the number of numbers is how we say that. So you want to fill in the blank there, you want to find number of numbers. I wrote use average to find the number of the middle of 2 numbers. So anytime they say what number is halfway between 20 and 30, I can do that by finding average. Now a lot of those at the beginning, guys, I can do in my head. Halfway between 20 and 30 is 25. But we're going to start to give you decimal numbers, fractions, all those things to find halfways, add them together, divide by 2. Example 2 says, when people were seated, there were 3 in the first row, 8 in the second row, 10 in the third row. What was the average number of people in each of the 3 rows? Step 1, I need to add. 3 plus 8 is 11, plus 10 is 21. Then I take my 21, I divide it by how many I had. 1, 2, 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. There are 7 people on average in each row. Now they give you the little sentence about mean. Another name for average is the mean. We find the mean of a set of numbers by adding the numbers and dividing by the number of numbers. So guys, it's the same thing. Average and mean are the same thing. You see that a lot on your map testing that you do. Hopefully we'll get to that this year, right? Map testing asks you to find the mean of a number. In a word game, 5 students in the class scored 100 points. 4 scored 95. 6 scored 90 and 5 scored 80. What was the mean of the scores? What a great problem, guys. This is huge average. We were talking about being 2 steps. This one's like 6 steps because it said 5 scored 100. So what first I have to do is figure out the total by multiplying. 5 times 100 is 500. 4 times 95. I took 4 times 100 and got 400. Now there were 5 points short of that, so 5 times 4 is 20. So we're 20 short of 400 is 380. If not, write that thing out, guys, and do the math. 6 times 9 is 54, put a 0 on that. 8 times 5 is 40, put a 0 on that. Now I can finally add them all together. All the zeros give me a 0. 8 plus 4 gives me 12. 1, 5 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 5 is 14, plus 4 is 18. I got an answer of 1,820. Now to find the average, I stick that in there. To make it easier, guys, I chop a 0. That was yesterday's lesson, easier division problems. 2 into 18 goes 9 times, 2 into 2 goes 1 time, and I have an average of 91. 91 looks like a pretty good average in between 80 and 100. Should be right near 91. Do not read too fast and just add 100 plus 95 plus 90 plus 80. Make sure you know how many students are doing that. That's how they make averages 1 step more difficult. Okay, they're going to practice average with you all kinds of ways for the next 30 lessons, and then we're going to hit like lesson 55, and we're going to take average to the whole next level, which gives us a lot of challenging things. Guys, like always, you have the practice set. They give you quite a few letters today. This is real life and great math, doing multiple steps, so feel free to get a few practices in on those things, and I'll see you for the problems. 6th grade, here we go. The problems for lesson 28. Number 1 says 5 volunteers collected bottles to be recycled. Their numbers were all those. What's the average of them? Okay, average, step 1. We need to add them all together. So start writing down 242, 236, 248, 268, and 226. Add those up. 8, 16, 24, 30. Carry the 3, 7, 10, 14, 20, 22. Carry the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2 is 12. I now take my 1220 and divide by the 5 volunteers. Goes in there twice is 10, subtract 2, bring down the 2. Goes in there 4 is 20, subtract 20. Goes in there, that's ugly, 4. So my answer is 244. What was the average number of bottles? 244 bottles. Number 2, Yori ran a mile in 5 minutes, 14 seconds. How many seconds did it take Yori to run a mile? It's a pretty good clip there. I know there are 60 seconds in a minute, and I know he did that 5 times. So 60 times 5 is 0. That's 30. Now he also has those 14 seconds, so I have to add that onto there. A 2-step problem, guys. 314 seconds. Number 3, Louisa bought a pair of pants for $24.95 and 3 blouses for $15.99 each. Altogether, how much did she spend? So step 1, I need to do $15.99 times 3. I'm going to do a shortcut. I'm going to do 16 times 3. 16 times 3 is 18. 1 is 48. Now, she's 3 pennies short of that, guys. She's 1 cent, and she bought 3 of those. So my answer is $47.97. Did we see how I did that? I got this 48, and I took 3 pennies away from it. Then I have to add that to a $24.95, the money it cost for her pair of pants. And I add them together, and I get a 2. I carry, I get a 19, I carry, I get a 12, I carry, I get a 7. Big spender, $72.92 to get a grand total. Number 6, this rectangle is twice as long as it is wide. What is the perimeter of the rectangle? So they gave me the length. They said this is twice as long. So this has to be a 4 over there, guys. Then they asked me, A, what's the perimeter? Add them together. That's 12, times it by 2 is 24 inches. B says, what's the area? Now I don't add, I multiply. 8 times 4 is 32 inches squared. Number 7, list the first 6 multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. List the first 6 multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. What is the LCM? Looks like this is the first one I came across, 12. Use prime factorization to find the least common multiple of 27 and 36. So 27 is 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3. 36 is 4 times 9, which is 2 times 2 and 3 times 3. This one has 2 2s, so I need it. 2 times 2 is 4. This one has 3 3s, so I use the 3 3s, not the 2 3s, because there's more. That's 27, so I need to take 27 times 4. I get a 28, 8, 9, 10. The least common multiple of those two numbers is 108. They're going to keep giving us these problems, guys. It's a great way to practice prime factorization and then know how to find least common multiple. Turn the page in your math book. It says write the 56 and 240 as product prime numbers, then reduce 56 over 24. So this is, guys, when we reduce that, what we're really finding is the greatest common factor. So it's a good practice for us to do this one. 56 and 240. 56 is 7 and 8. 8 is 2 and 4, 4 is 2 and 2. So the top is 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. 240 is 24 and 10. This is 3 and 8. This is 2 and 5. This is 2 and 4. This is 2 and 2. So on the bottom I have 4 2s. I have this 3, and I have that 5. Okay, so now, guys, you cross, 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 and on the top I have 7, and on the bottom I have 2 times 3 is 6 times 5 is 30, so my answer is 7/30. If I ask you what's the greatest common factor, it's the numbers I crossed out, so 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. That would be the greatest common factor of those. That was number 9. We're cruising on to number 12. Write the prime factorization of 3,600 using exponents and then find the square root. Well, guys, cross off the 2 zeros. What's the square root of 36? It's 6. So now you put 1 0 back on. So the answer for B, guys, is 60. That's the square root of 3,600. I'm going to just break down 60 and then double my answer. So this is 6 times 10. This is 2 times 3. This is 2 times 5. So that's 2 to the second times 3 to the first times 5 to the first. And I need to double all those for answer to A. So A is 2 doubled to the 4, 3 doubled to the 2, and 5 doubled to the 2. So my answer for A is 2 to the 4th times 3 squared times 5 squared. Number 15. Arrange these numbers in order from least to greatest. Negative, the one that's neither, the fraction, 1, and then the improper. B says which of these numbers are odd integers. So odd, guys, are whole numbers, 1 and negative 1. Integers can be negative. So that's my answer for B. Flipping my answer key over, 17. 10 squared plus m plus 8 squared. So I have 10 squared plus m, 10 squared equals, let me erase that for you, equals m plus 8 squared. Do the math. I have 100 equals m plus 64. I then subtract 64 when I'm missing an addition, and I get an answer of 6 and 3. M equals 36. Number 19, it's a subtraction problem. I have 4 and 5 twelfths minus 1 and 1 12th gives me 4. 12 stay the same. 3 divide by 4 over 4 equals 3 and 1/3. Number 22, multiplication from Monday's problem. 6 and 2/3 times 1 and 1/5. Multiply and add, multiply and add. 18, 19, 20 over 3. 5 plus 1 is 6 over 5. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 24 times. 4 times 2 equals 8. 23. Step 1, 1 and 1/2 times 1 and 1/2. That's 3 over 2 times 3 over 2 equals 9 over 4. Step 2, take that answer and divide it by 7 and 1/2. Now notice, guys, I didn't switch that back to a mixed number because I have to have it improper anyways. So I'm going to take 9 over 4 divided by, multiply 14 plus 1 is 15 over 2. Now stays, changes, flips. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 into 4 is 2. Divide by 3 is 3. Divide by 3 is 5. Multiply the tops, 3. Multiply the bottoms, 10. So I get an answer of 3/10. 26. I'm now doing 1/2 divided by 2/3. So I have 1/2 changes, flips. Multiply the tops, 3. Multiply the bottoms, 4. I'm now taking 3/4 minus my answer, which is 3/4. That cancels out. I have 0. 27. Evaluate the following expression. X is 3, Y is 4. So I have 3 to the 4th power. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 9 again would be 81. So 3 to the 4th is 81. Now I got 3 squared plus 4 squared. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. And 28. What is the rule for this function? Fire 1 gives me 3. 2 gives me 5. 4 gives me 9. 5 gives me 11, 10 gives me 21, 12 gives me 25. So I added 2, I added 3, I added 5, I added 6. They added all kinds of crazy things, guys. So they're already done with one step. The rule is wow, here I went times 2 plus 1. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 times 2 plus 1 is 9. 5 times 2 plus 1 is 11. 10 times 2 plus 1 is 21. Okay, 2 steps. You times 2 plus 1. Start to look for those guys. They'll give you those function rules. They're almost all 2 steps now. Usually it's either multiply by 2 or divide by 2. Usually it's add 1 or subtract 1.